النبي المدني الهاشمي الذي اسمه في السماء بأحمد وفي الأرض بأبي القاسم محمد. وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين الهداة المهديين، لا سيما بقية الله في الأرضين، روحي وأرواح العالمين لتراب مقدمه الفداء، ورحمة الله على محبيهم ومواليهم وشيعتهم أجمعين، ولعنة الله على أعدائهم وقتليهم وغاصب حقوقهم ومنكري فضائلهم الملعونين. Amma ba'd, for the happiness of Hazrat Zahra Mirziya, for the enlightenment of the graves of your mu'mineen, of the graves of the shuhada, ulama and saddiqeen, for the safety of the followers of Ahlul Bayt around the world, and for the destruction of the enemies of Tashayyu around the world, and for the safety and the hastening of the reappearance of Hazrat Baqiyatullah al-A'zam arwahum al-fida. Please recite aloud as salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. That's not the 15th of Ramadan salawat. That's Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. That's a reminder to me that I've got the graveyard shift to try and keep everyone awake after they've eaten. It's an honor and a privilege to be given this opportunity to come and speak to you brothers and sisters on these, the most holiest and auspicious nights. And it's an honor to be here in this fine center of yours, and to be at your service for the next 14 or 15 nights, inshallah. It's always good having a warm welcome when you go to somewhere new. And your customs gave me, and immigration gave me a lovely welcome. 3 hours of it, in fact. And they welcomed me. Alhamdulillah. Once I got over that 3 hours, then I finally got out the airport and got in the car. And I remember saying to Brother Mustafa that it seems like I'm in a Hollywood movie, because everything's what I've seen on TV. And now I'm actually in it. But once I got over that, I started thinking about the lecture that we were to do. We are halfway through the spiritual spring and the uncovering of our godly nature through in the year. Rajab, Sha'ban, all built up to 1 month, and that month builds up to one night where all of destiny is written. Our spiritual progression or regression, I'll explain the terms maybe tomorrow or today if we have the time, is exponentially increased in this month, but only if we do things the right way. Because the beauty of this month is that the Holy Prophet has said, Shaqi is that individual, wretched is that individual that comes out of this month, and the very least that he could not achieve was the forgiveness of all of his sins. Meaning the very least that you and I can achieve within this holy month is the forgiveness of every single one of our sins. The open, the hidden, the ones that people know about, the ones that no one knows about except Allah. In this month, we can have every single one of them forgiven as a bare minimum. If you just fast and stay away from the haram, fulfill your wajibat, the bare minimum that you can achieve is forgiveness of all your sins. Now imagine what potential lies within this month. We've reached the 15th of the holy month. And for some, it's a sad time. For most, it's, we're over the halfway mark. Only 14 more nights to go. And my schedule can go back to normal. I can carry on waking up at the time that I like to wake up. And this whole, waking up at 3, 4? Is it 4 here? Oh God, you lot have got it easy. So 4 a.m., probably 1:30 in England. Anyway, so 4, I can stop waking up at 4. I can, start getting up again at the last 15 minutes before the time of sunrise. For many of us, this month filled us with dread. Not that we may not be able to achieve its true potential, but the fact that we actually had to fast. And for many, you just go on Twitter or Facebook, and for the last 15 nights, all people have been complaining about or talking about is food. It's, I'm hungry. I don't know how I'm going to make it through the day. Or, I'm sticking it up on Instagram, this is what I'm going to eat tonight. Or, these are my goals of what I want to eat tonight. Or it's someone complaining about something that, is food related. Nowhere in the grand scheme of everything does someone think, oh, you know what? Maybe there's something greater in this month than hunger. But all we did is concentrate on hunger for 15 nights. All we did is complain about how hungry we were, what we're going to eat at iftar, and then what we're going to eat at suhoor. And then people were writing articles, giving each other advice, saying, look, if you have leafy vegetables, it will keep you hydrated throughout the day. Eat fiber, it will keep you sustained throughout the day. It won't make you feel hungry. Here's like a news flash, as it were. The whole point is you're supposed to feel hungry. The whole point is that you're supposed to suppress the desire of hunger for you to understand that hunger is only something in your head. You can last 2 weeks without food. But it's shaitan that whispers to that quwwat al-shahwiyya, that power of desire within you, that tells you, you know what, you're not going to be able to last. You need to do something. You need to eat. You need to shorten the fast. You need to do something. Because this 16-hour or 22-hour or 20-hour fast is inhumane. And it's hot. And so all of the essence of Shahr Ramadan was taken away. We took it away. We stripped it all away. And focused solely on what we were putting in our stomachs. Whereas in reality, this month is the month of the banquet of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You have spent 2 months, or should have spent 2 months, in preparation for this month. And this month in preparation for Laylatul Qadr, when the destinies of man are written. Incidentally, we have the same narrations for the 15th of Sha'ban. That says the destinies of man are written, and Laylatul Qadr, the destiny of man is written. So what's going on? Which one's right? Sayyid ibn Tawus says that he's one of our Arafah and Fuqaha that's passed. He consolidated these 2 narrations, or the various narrations that we have, about the 15th of Sha'ban and Laylatul Qadr. He said that on the 15th of Sha'ban, a draft version is written in Lohe Mahf wal Ithbat, the erasable tablet. We know Lohe Mahfuz, right? The preserved tablet. Not just me. Right, okay, so there's not actually like huge tablets, but metaphorically, there is this tablet where the destiny of everyone is written. and it's written for the year. And once it's written on there, that's what's going to occur. There is another tablet that is known as Mahw al-Ithbat, the erasable tablet, where a draft version is written. On the 15th of Sha'ban, the draft version of your year's destiny, of your rizq, of your illnesses, of whatever else is going to come is written there. From the 15th of Sha'ban until Layali al-Qadr, you are assessed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that are you able to maintain that level of spirituality and religiosity until Laylatul Qadr. If you are, then in Laylatul Qadr it is written in permanent form for the rest of the year. But if you missed 15th of Sha'ban, you missed an opportunity. If you decide to go to sleep on the 15th of Sha'ban, you missed an opportunity. If you stayed awake in the 15th of Sha'ban and did all the a'mal, but then after that you sort of, I don't know, fizzled out, then on Layal al-Qadr is very difficult to get it back to that level. So it's about maintaining that spirituality throughout this whole period. And the only way that it's maintained is when we're able to understand the minutiae of our spiritual development. And the minutiae of the spiritual development comes when we understand akhlaq, morality and ethics. And over the next 15 nights, this is exactly what we will be talking about. It will be a moral and an ethical analysis of the hadith of Mi'raj. And we'll be taking parts from it and points from it in order for us to implement them. Tangible, implementable ideas that we can actually take today, tomorrow, and straight away start using them. The Holy Prophet goes on Mi'raj. And there are a number of conversations that ensue between the Holy Prophet and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Sometimes it's Allah asking the Holy Prophet something, sometimes it's the Holy Prophet asking Allah something. In one particular part of the hadith of Mi'raj, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala addresses the Holy Prophet, says, Ya Ahmed, abghiz ad-dunya. And Ahmed is the name of the Holy Prophet within the heavens. When he came to the earth, it became Muhammad. But in the heavens, he is addressed as Ahmed. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Ya Ahmed, abghiz ad-dunya wa ahlaha wa hibb al-akhirati wa ahlaha. O Ahmed, hate the dunya and its people, and love the akhirah and its people. And so then the Holy Prophet asks, Ya Allah, who are Ahl al-Dunya? What are their traits? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala lists 21 or 22 traits of the people of the dunya. And then he lists 15 or 16 traits of the people of the akhirah. And we will look at each and every one of these traits over the coming nights. The first thing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in regards to the people of the dunya, He says, "O Ahmed, know that the people of the dunya eat too much, they sleep too much, they laugh too much, they are often angry, and very rarely are they satisfied." So we take the first one, they eat too much. Our lives have become so revolved around food. The whole of this Shahr Ramadan, what was it? What has it been? What is it? Our fasting period, what is it? It is the time period between the two meals. That's how we look at it. What is it? Well, the time between the two meals, when I can eat and when I have to stop eating. And when I stop eating and then when I can eat again. And then there's this thing in the middle where I just go and do work and try and sleep it all off. And then I get to eat again. And then I, sometimes eat too much and I can't move or start falling asleep. And then maybe I can't pray my salat till Maghrib. And then you know, I struggle, and then I can't do sajda properly. I have to do a really short sajda because I've eaten so much. Can't get my breath in, and you know what it's like. You see that picture that went round of those the Arab guys in Saudi or somewhere, and they're all like laying out like this, bellies like mountains, and this huge tray in front of them, and they're just like, that's it, we can't do no more. And you know, generally that's what iftar looks like. It's like a battlefield. Everyone's, but it shouldn't be like that. Obviously, we know that. Ahlul dunya are those that eat too much. Our lives are consumed by eating too much. You go and they ask, would you like to go large for an extra 30p? Or 30 cents. I don't know how much it is to go large here, but you know, 30p or something over in the I was going to say civilized world. At one point, I did, you know, one of the immigration officers asked me, said, so what's your purpose here? What are you here to do? And I was so tempted to say, to try and discover intelligent life. Because across the pond, we see videos of Americans. Although, admittedly, since I actually landed in San Francisco until I've reached San Jose, I don't think I've seen a single white American. I mean, I don't know where they are, but they sold us a lie over in England because they told us there were loads of white Americans. I just saw like Hispanics, Chinese people. I was like, where are all the white Americans? Have I come to the right place? But someone tells me, no, it's like this around here. There are white Americans somewhere. So inshallah, if Allah gives me the tawfiq, I might be able to meet one in the period that I'm here. Anyway, so where were we? Eating too much. So, you know, everything's revolving around, you know, we want to eat too much. Everything's about going large. It's all about, you know, you can eat more. You know, have a double-decker instead of a single-decker, single burger. You know, have extra chips, have this drink with it. And it's everything. We're always looking for it, and we're always saying, oh, you know what? Where can I get a really good burger? Where can I get, you know, a really good steak? Where can I go and get a really good pizza? Who does the best pizza? And it's all about, you know, and we love these programs like Man vs. Food. We're trying to find, you know, the best places to eat. And we're so obsessed with it. But what we don't realize is that this overconsumption is that thing that will create a barrier between us and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Overconsumption of food makes an individual lazy. See, that's what stops you from standing up to pray Salatul Layl in these nights. When you know you should, because you're going to be awake till Suhoor anyway. But it's like, oh, I had too much, I just need to just lay down and digest it. So then I don't pray. It's in these nights where we want to eat every single treat under the sun. Because it's like magically in these nights we may never ever get the opportunity to eat these. So we're going to have everything fried, we're going to have everything sweet, you know, all sorts of weird and wonderful foods that we don't eat throughout the year. It will happen in Shahr Ramadan. Whereas in reality the fast is there so that you can overcome this annoyance that is called hunger. Because Ahlul Akhirah only eat enough to sustain their ibadat. Only eat enough to sustain their existence. Excess is what causes laziness. Excess is what makes the heart become hard. And then there's the point about focusing on food. What sort of food are we eating? How are we eating it? You know, where does it come from? Is it halal? Is it really halal? Did someone say it was halal and I I thought, I may as well eat it. So it's halal. And then I realized the next day I can't wake up for Salat al-Fajr. That should be an indication. What I ate the night before, dodgy. And the whole point of fasting, through the hunger, you get one of the greatest gifts from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ya ayyuha alladhina amanu, kutiba alaykum as-siyam kama kutiba ala alladhina min qablikum la'allakum tattaqun. O you who believe, we have prescribed fasting to you as we prescribed to those before you. Now when it says to those before you, it's actually referring to the Anbiya of Allah. So we have been given a worship that is the worship of the prophets of God. That was reserved specifically for the prophets of God. That aside, why have we prescribed it to you? لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ, so that you may gain taqwa. Now taqwa is very often mistranslated as the fear of God. We don't believe in a God we fear. We believe in a God who says, I am more merciful than 100 mothers. So what is the meaning of taqwa? It is that you are conscious of God. Your every aspect of your life becomes conscious of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when you're fasting, you are that. Because you say, oh yeah, Shahr Ramadan, I gotta pray on time. Shahr Ramadan, I gotta wear a hijab. Shahr Ramadan, I gotta grow a beard. Shahr Ramadan, I can't listen to music. Shahr Ramadan, I can't text you no more. I talk to you after Eid. Shahr Ramadan, I can't like your photos on Facebook no more. Or Instagram. I can't say, MashaAllah, sister. And that's an irony, right? It's like, so we got to flirt, but you want to flirt within this religious boundary. MashaAllah, sister. And that's haram as well. I just put it out there. Just so we're clear. So in Shahr Ramadan, all of a sudden I stopped listening to music, I stopped talking to who I shouldn't be talking to, I stopped talking about what I shouldn't be talking about, I stopped listening to what I shouldn't be listening to, I stopped eating what I shouldn't be eating, I start praying when I should be praying, I start concentrating on myself, as if magically God has appeared. Like, wow, where were you this whole year? I got another bombshell. I shouldn't use the word bomb, right? It's in the US, and it's FBI, gone, Guantanamo. I've heard the stories. No, but here's another bombshell. God's around all the time. He doesn't actually go anywhere. He doesn't have makan. And actually, the way when we think about it, if we look at it truly, the way that a person that does not wear hijab, wears hijab when she prays, or when she doesn't wear hijab, she wears hijab in Shahr Ramadan. She has given Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala one of those sifat that we refer to as the characteristic sifat salbiya, the one of makan, the one of place. There is no entity, God cannot be given a place. But what do we do? Subconsciously we give God a time and a place. His time is on the musalla at these 5 times a day. That's when He exists. That's when I will wear my hijab. Subconsciously I have committed kufr. The same way in Shahr Ramadan, when I change my life, all of a sudden, I stop listening to music. By the way, music is haram after Shahr Ramadan. I start, praying on time, missing your salah, or praying straight away. Missing your salah is haram outside of Shahr Ramadan. All the things that we do, we abstain from. 9 times out of 10, they're haram outside of Shahr Ramadan. They're better to stay away from outside of Shahr Ramadan. But in Shahr Ramadan, we've got this mindset that we change all of a sudden. It's not because shaitan is locked away in chains. No, he's working double time. Yeah? Shaitan is not locked away. If anyone ever heard shaitan is locked away, you've been sold a lie. Yeah? He's not locked away. He's not in, in hell, chained up, and he can't come out. No. He's here. He's working. So then why is he not having any effect on me? That's because of your fasting. That's because you're not eating so much. That's because your godly nature is now shining through. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, نَفَخْتُ فِيهِ مِنْ رُوحِي, I blew part of my soul into him. That a godly nature exists within every man. But we cover it with our sins, our forgetting Allah. So it becomes suppressed. But in this month, by restricting that thing that is many a time the cause for our spiritual degradation, food, we bring that out. This is why Sayyidah, when she stands in the court of Abu Bakr and she gives her khutbah of Fadakiyah, and when she speaks about the various philosophies, she speaks about 20 ibadat and their philosophies. When she talks about fasting, she says, وَالصِّيَامْ تَثْبِيتًا لِلْإِخْلَاصِ, and Allah has prescribed fasting for you in order to foster sincerity within you. Fasting creates sincerity within our actions. Why does it create sincerity? Because no one knows we're doing it. Unless obviously we go and we complain, oh, I'm hungry, I can't do it, I'm hungry, Mom, I want food, yeah, that sort of stuff. Yeah, we start complaining about it, or we go to work and we say, listen, look, you better stay away from me because I'm fasting. So if I get cranky, you know why? And so we're telling the whole office and everyone at school and university, no, I'm fasting. Or when someone offers you food, you're like, oh, I'm fasting! As if we've got to tell the whole world. What's wrong with saying, no, thanks, I don't want it. You see, the reason why fasting creates sincerity is because it's a private ibadat. Like your Salatul Layl, it is a private munajat between the lover and the beloved. You can go the whole day and nobody knows that you are in a state of worship. All you say is, I'm not hungry. But yet, your very existence is in a state of worship. Your very existence is in a state of ubudiyah, of servitude of Allah. Your very existence is tuned to the fact that you are insignificant and Allah is all that matters. What are the outcomes of hunger? In a later part of the hadith of Mi'raj, the Holy Prophet asks Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he says, what are the outcomes of hunger? What can I get out of hunger? Those that stay hungry, what do they achieve? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that the first thing that they get, oh Ahmed, is wisdom. They become wiser. They make more calculated decisions. They make wiser decisions. Except for those that are run by their desires. You see, if you become a different person, like you become worse, i.e. when you're hungry, you become angrier, you become crankier, then that's a bad sign. Because your desires have overcome your intellect. The definition of ignorance is when the desires overcome the intellect. When you are run by emotion. Whereas the aql is what takes you towards the ibadat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when your emotions are tempered through your logic, and we'll look at this in the later nights, that is what will help you ascend towards Allah. Wisdom is what is created. If I become more angry in this month, there's something wrong with my understanding. If I become more cranky in this month, something wrong with my understanding. If I'm trying to look for a way out, Maulana, you know, I've got exams and I've got to do revision and I've got to write an essay. Is it possible that I can't fast? No. You still have to fast. Yeah, but I can't study. I need to eat while I'm fasting. I need to eat while I'm studying. Don't eat while you're fasting. That's going to end badly. 60 days worth of fasting after that. I need to eat while I'm studying. Really? You need to eat while you're studying? Yeah, because otherwise my brain doesn't work. Oh, okay. Did you know what Amir al-Mu'mineen says? He says, Al-ilmu fil ju'. He says, ilm is in hunger. If you want to gain knowledge, then do 3 things. First, stay hungry. The second, stay away from your home. And the third, accustom yourself to a lack of sleep. And we'll look at sleep tomorrow, because that's another beautiful one. I love our sleep. 16 hours. I met someone who slept for 3 days once, but I'll talk about that more tomorrow. 3 days. Amir al-Mu'mineen says, hunger will give you knowledge. Staying away from your home will give you knowledge. Having a lack of sleep will give you knowledge. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying hunger will give you wisdom. The second thing he says is that hunger will give you the protection of your heart. Your qalb, your soul will be protected from sin. Your heart will be softened. It will cause you to draw closer to me. You feel more religious when you're fasting. You feel more appreciative when you're fasting. Or if throughout the day you've been cranky and you've been annoyed and everyone's getting on your nerves, but when you get to iftar and that moment that you eat, there's that slight moment of disappointment. I should have spent the day slightly better. I shouldn't have done this. It wasn't that hard. I'm eating now. I could have survived. Because you're drawing nearer to Allah. Or you're uncovering the godly nature within yourself. It says lasting sorrow will be given to that individual. Lasting sorrow in what sense? Lasting sorrow in the sense that the believer on the outside is happy, but inside he's always upset. He's always sorrowful. The people don't know. See, when we look at the traits of the people of the Akhirah, you'll see one of the traits is they're distressed inside, but they won't let anyone else know. Everyone else still feels calm when they're around. It's not like, I've had a bad day, so I'm going to take it out on everyone. Or, I've had someone die in my family, so I'm not going to be nice or happy with anyone. No. The believer keeps his pain inside. The lasting sorrow that is referred to here is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that on the outside he'll be happy, inside he'll be upset, not knowing whether his Lord is happy with him or not. Not knowing whether he's done enough to achieve the happiness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That lasting sorrow will be given. There'll be less burden. He'll be less of a burden on the people. He'll be inclined towards telling the truth. There will be a lack of concern inside him, whether he is poor or whether he is rich. He's happy with what he has. The person that keeps himself hungry, he will become more satisfied with little. It doesn't matter to him whether he has thousands or whether he has tens. He's happy. He's satisfied. He's like Abu Dhar. When Abu Dhar is approached twice, first by Muawiyah, then by Uthman, When he's approached by Uthman in Rabada, when Uthman exiles him, Uthman sends two of his soldiers. They go to him and they say, Abi Dhar, Uthman has sent you some money. Abu Dhar says, I don't want it. Says, no, don't think that it's from Baytul Mal. This is Uthman's own wealth. He sent it for you, have something to eat, make a nicer house, it's a peace offering. Abu Dhar says, I don't need it. I'm happy. They say, look, Abu Dhar, what are you going to eat? He says, come with me. He lifts up a piece of cloth. Underneath it is half a piece of bread. He says, this is the rest of my food for today, and tomorrow Allah will provide, and I am a ghani, and I am rich. Look at him and say, Abu Dhar, you have one piece or half a piece of bread. You're living in a mud hut in the middle of nowhere, and how is it that you're saying you are rich? He says, I am ghani because I have this, and I have the wilayah of Ali ibn Abi Talib. As a result, there is no one richer than me. A lack of concern, whether he is rich or poor. So what is the effect of having bad food? First and foremost, I've spoken about those spiritual ills. You know that day that you can't wake up and pray salah? But the manifest example, and I'll end it on that because I've taken up too much of your time already. The most manifest example is the one in Karbala. You see, there is an imam standing in front of them. There is an imam showing them everything. He is saying, I am your imam. I am the son of Zahra. I am the son of Amir al-Mu'mineen. I am the grandson of the Holy Prophet. Why are you so intent on killing me? They turn around and they are not listening to 40 khutbat Imam al-Hussein gives in Karbala. 40 different times he addresses them. And then in the end he says, the reason why my words are not having any effect on you, recite salawat. He says, the reason why my words are not having any effect on you, is because your stomachs are filled with haram. Now you see, where we don't care about where our food comes from, what we're eating, is it through, have we gone to someone's house who sells alcohol? He brings that money home, he buys food, we're eating that food around his house. Is it someone who lives their life of interest? Is it someone, or is it me that I don't know if you have welfare state here, but you're working a certain amount of hours that is enough to sustain you, but you tell the customs and the revenue people and the treasury that you're only working a certain amount of hours so that they can top you up with the rest of the money. You lied. That money that you gained is haram. It's mixed with your halal money. You buy food, you consume it. You can't recognize your imam. You go out, someone says it's halal to you, you say, okay, why not? You eat it. You're not getting guna for it, because the Muslim told you it's halal. But the spiritual imperfection is still there. The spiritual defect is still there. We say, oh, why? How is that possible? Why? That's not fair. The same way, you go out and someone gives you some food and they say, yeah, it's cooked, but it's got something like salmonella or E. coli in it, and you eat it. You know, and you fall ill, you get food poisoning. You don't turn around and go, oh, that's not fair. Why did I fall ill? I didn't know that it had this bacteria on it. But yet, you don't complain about it. Same way with our spiritual development. When we do not concentrate on the food that we eat, we do not concentrate from where we are gaining our money. We do not concentrate on the fact that I am paid to work from 9 to 5, but I am given a half an hour break. But I make sure that somewhere along there I wing 15 minutes here, 15 minutes there, 20 minutes here. I'm not working. What I don't realize is I'm being paid for this. This is my contract. That time that I skive off work or I do not work as I am expected to do, that money also is problematic. I'm buying food, I'm consuming it. And then I still have hope that I'll be able to recognize my Imam. I still have hope that I'll be able to stand there and say, yes, Imam, I'm ready for you. I didn't concentrate on what I put in my stomach. I didn't concentrate on anything else, but I'm ready for you. That's what happened in Karbala. That's exactly what happened in Karbala. They all said, yeah, we understand you are the son of the Holy Prophet. We know that you are the son of the daughter of the Holy Prophet. But what can we do? They've offered us this governorship. They've offered us this money. The effect is because the stomachs were filled with haram. One way to purge the haram from us is through hunger, through fasting, through not being afraid of staying hungry. Knowing that hunger is only our nafs, our desire, trying to make us weak and not take the full benefit of this month. When you train your mind and your aql to understand that these pangs of hunger and this whispering of, I need to eat this, let's eat this, what am I going to eat? Oh, why did they not make meat today? Why am I stuck with vegetables today? This is all the whisperings of my nafs. Because my desires have overcome my intellect. They're out of control. The hunger will suppress them. The more and more I focus on them, I suppress them, the more and more these fasts will be easier, and the more I will uncover the essence, that which is hidden inside, that which Allah has promised His abd through hunger. We pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgives our sins. Pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgives the sins of our parents. Oh Allah, those of our parents that are alive, give them long lives. Those of our parents that have left this world, give them a place next to Al Muhammad in Jannah. Oh Allah, those who are ill, give them shifa'ah. Those who are in debt, clear their debts. Those who are in education, make them successful. Oh Allah, keep our ulama and our maraji at the head of our institutions. Oh Allah, hasten the reappearance of the Imam of our time, and allow us to be amongst His true muntadhireen, His true awaiters, for the acceptance of these du'as and any other du'as that the brothers and sisters have brought on this most holy of night. Recite al salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.